How many times have you wanted to say no, but the word simply doesn't come out of your mouth? How many times have you imagined standing up, leaving your boss with that extra work request, and going home in peace to finally rest? If you're watching this video, chances are you haven't been able to do that yet, and that's okay. In this video, we're going to talk about how to set boundaries without feeling cold or guilty. I'm sure you feel related with the next situation. You're buried in work at the office, tired but relieved, watching the clock and waiting for the end of the day. You're already imagining going home, disconnecting, finally resting. Then your boss walks in. He asks you to take several reports home and finish them tonight. In that moment, you want to say no. You feel it in your chest. The word is right there, but it doesn't come out. Instead, you lower your gaze, you nod. You quietly close your computer and pack your bag. On your way home, the anger starts to build, but not toward your boss, toward yourself. You replay the moment again and again, wondering why you couldn't set a boundary. You call yourself weak. You promise that next time will be different, but the problem is, the next time comes, and the exact same thing happens again. You don't struggle with boundaries because you're weak. You struggle because you care. You care about how others feel. You care about being fair. You care about not disappointing people. And yet, here you are, saying yes when you mean no, explaining yourself too much, feeling drained, resentful, or quietly angry, then feeling guilty for feeling that way. You tell yourself you'll set boundaries next time. You rehearse what you'll say. But when the moment comes, you freeze, or you give in. This video is not about becoming cold, distant, or selfish. It's about learning how to protect your time, energy, and emotional space without losing yourself in guilt. If you stay until the end, I'll show you a simple, realistic way to start setting boundaries that don't destroy your relationships or your peace. Before we continue, let me ask you one thing. Who is the person you struggle most to set boundaries with? Leave it in the comments. Just writing it helps. People who struggle with boundaries are often emotionally aware, conscientious, empathetic, responsible. You notice needs, sometimes before others even express them. So when someone asks for something, your mind doesn't just hear the request, it hears the impact. If I say no, they'll feel rejected. If I say no, they'll think I don't care. If I say no, I might damage the relationship. And because you can imagine that emotional outcome so clearly, your body reacts before logic has a chance. You feel tension in your chest, a tightness in your stomach, a pressure to respond quickly, so you agree, you accommodate, you adjust yourself. Later, when you're alone, the resentment creeps in, not because the other person is evil, but because you crossed your own line. This creates a painful cycle. You give too much. You feel overwhelmed. You feel angry at yourself. You promise to do better. The cycle repeats over time. Something subtle but dangerous happens. You start associating boundaries with conflict rejection, being a bad person, so your mind avoids them entirely. Instead, you manage people through over-explaining, apologizing excessively, making excuses, delaying responses. These are not boundaries. They are avoidance strategies dressed as kindness, and they cost you more than you realize. They drain your energy, they blur your identity, they quietly teach others that your limits are flexible, and the worst part? The more exhausted you feel, the less capable you become of setting boundaries at all. Here's the paradox that changes everything. Boundaries are not something you do to others. They are something you do to protect your relationship with yourself. Most people think boundaries are about confrontation. They imagine harsh conversations, awkward silence, emotional fallout. But real boundaries are quieter than that. They are not dramatic. They are not aggressive. They are not declarations. They are decisions you make before resentment appears. The reason boundaries feel cold is because people often set them too late. They wait until they're overwhelmed, they're angry, they're emotionally depleted. Then the boundary comes out sharp, defensive, or explosive. That's not a boundary. That's a reaction. When boundaries are reactive, they feel harsh. When they're proactive, they feel calm. This is the shift most people never make. You don't need stronger boundaries. You need earlier boundaries. And once you understand that, the guilt starts to lose its power. Let's compare the two approaches. The old way. The old way says, I should be able to handle this. I don't want to make a big deal. I'll just push through. So you ignore early discomfort. You tell yourself, it's not that bad. They need me. It'll pass. Until it doesn't. Then one day, something small sets you off. You snap, you withdraw, or you say yes again, but this time with resentment. And afterward, you feel awful. You feel ashamed, confused, disappointed in yourself. You wonder why boundaries always feel like a failure. The new way says, my discomfort is information, not a flaw. I don't need to justify my limits. I can be kind without self-abandonment. Instead of waiting until you're exhausted, you respond when the discomfort first appears. Not dramatically, not emotionally, just clearly. This approach doesn't shock relationships, it stabilizes them. And if this way of thinking feels relieving, consider subscribing. This channel is about sustainable self-respect, not extremes. Now let's get practical. Here are 3 steps to set boundaries without guilt. No scripts with perfect wording. No personality changes. No emotional toughness training. Just 3 grounded steps you can actually repeat. Step 1. Name the boundary internally before you speak. This step happens inside, not out loud. Before responding to a request, pause and ask, what would feel fair to me right now? Not, what should I do? Not, what will they think? Just, what can I realistically give without resentment? This might sound simple, but most people skip it. They go straight from request to response. Naming the boundary internally gives you clarity. Examples: I can help for 15 minutes, not an hour. I can listen today, but not solve this. I can't take this on right now. You don't say it yet. You just acknowledge it. Measure this step by one thing. Did you identify your limit before answering? That alone reduces guilt, because confusion fuels self-betrayal. Step 2. State the boundary without over-explaining. This is where guilt usually appears, because many people think boundaries require justification. They don't. Over-explaining sends a message. My boundary is negotiable if you argue well enough. Instead, use clear, neutral language, not cold, not emotional, not defensive. Examples: I won't be able to do that. That doesn't work for me right now. I can't commit to that. Notice what's missing. No apology, no excuse, no story. You're not rejecting the person. You're declining the request. Measure this step simply. Did you stop after one sentence? If yes, you did it right. Step 3. Tolerate the discomfort without fixing it. This is the hardest step, and the most important. After you set a boundary, discomfort may appear. You might feel anxiety, guilt, the urge to explain more, the urge to make it better. Don't. That discomfort is not a sign you did something wrong. It's a sign you did something new. Your nervous system is learning. Let the discomfort pass without correcting it. Don't send a follow-up message. Don't justify yourself. Don't take the boundary back. Most discomfort fades in minutes, sometimes seconds, if you don't feed it. Measure this step by one thing. Did you hold the boundary without undoing it? That's how confidence is built. Let me leave you with this. Boundaries are not walls. They are filters. They don't push people away. They show people how to be close to you without hurting you. You are responsible for your limits, but you don't need to defend them with guilt or force. Start early. Keep it simple. Repeat consistently. You don't need to become colder. You need to become clearer. If this video helped you rethink boundaries, please like it. It helps this message reach people who need it. And remember, self-respect doesn't make you distant. It makes relationships safer. quietly, steadily, one boundary at a time.